Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Gita. Gita, let me know who you are and what you do.
Hi, Qasim. I'm so happy to be here today. So my name is Gita Vellanki. I am the founder of NEESHI. We make naturally nourishing treats for menstruation through menopausal issues.
Great. So, Gita, what was the inspiration to start this business, or what was the cause behind to start this?
The inspiration was my oldest daughter. So we have 3 girls. And honestly, starting NEESHI as a company was never the goal. It was just to help her. She was struggling with her menstrual cycle, and it was really bad. It was really hard for her to deal with, really heavy cramps and lengthy flows and things like that. She's a basketball player, a tennis player for her high school. And it took me back to my childhood. I was that age. I had a really hard time as well. And my mom's only option back then was to put me on birth control, which left me with nausea, headaches, GI issues, like you name it, for years. So honestly, not wanting to do that, I thought back to my grandmother in the village of India, right? We would go visit her in the summers. And if something was wrong, she would head to the kitchen to solve our ailments, not the pharmacy. And so it was really taking back, like rooted in my background, how can I help her in a more natural, a more holistic way? And that's really where all of this came from. So I started doing a lot of research on functional foods, their healing properties, what has been tested in scientific trials, and putting all of those together. And once we found the right formula, we were able to see a change really quickly. Her skin had cleared up, her moods were more balanced. And then when her cycle hit, it had become very quickly unnoticeable to the point where she's like, Mom, this is amazing. Doesn't stand in my way anymore. And I was testing the products at the same time. And I noticed for me, it was a huge difference with even, in old age, we find these new problems that come up with hot flashes and night sweats and all these things that started going away as well. So it was really cool to see how we were both benefiting from the right vitamins and minerals and balance that we were getting from these ingredients.
Okay, great. So, when you are defining the targeted audience, how you define it? Like, are you defining it with the parameters of age, or maybe there are some other involvements as well?
Absolutely. So we have products that are targeted towards certain age groups based on what you're dealing with, right? Are you a woman with menstrual cycle challenges, perimenopausal, menopausal challenges? We have customers from as early as 10 to women in their 70s. And so I think it depends on more the ailment you're dealing with or the issue you're dealing with, but also your approach to life. Are you looking for a more protein and fiber-rich diet? Are you looking for a quick on-the-go snack? And we've built out our product set to really meet those different needs.
Makes sense. So I believe, especially, I'm not sure, like in what market you are marketing this. Like, what is your exact market? But what I have seen, like, I know your market as well. Like, I know India, I know Pakistan as well. So
Right.
there are many problems. Like, people even do not discuss some of the things. Even these are the medical things, but people are way shy to discuss the things, and it leads to more complications, I believe. So
Absolutely.
how, like I'm not sure where you are targeting, like what is the area you're targeting and how you're helping them.
So we do a lot of direct to consumer marketing, right? Whether it's our Instagram page, online, we work with influencers, we have doctors, different service providers, so estheticians, anybody where you're in a chair for a long time, you might bring up these struggles. But I think for us, there's been a huge uptick when we do pop-up events because my girls are there with me and they are very open to not only talking about their cycle, their struggles, but how this has helped them and exactly how miserable they felt before and how amazing they feel now. So I'm very open, they're very open. And I think that leads other people who, to your point, they've seen it as a taboo, right? Menstrual health is not a topic of conversation that's open in India and Pakistan or most parts of the world, or even in a lot of families in America. And I think that dynamic is changing, which is amazing, right? One example I'll give you is when I was a girl in Wisconsin, we would tuck our menstrual products in our sleeve or our pocket, and we'd rush to the bathroom at school
Yeah.
because it was something you felt the need to hide. And, I told my girls, I hope one day you can walk down the hall with a pad in your hand and not worry about it. And my two older ones who are in high school and middle school already said, Mom, nobody cares anymore. We're all open. We'll shout across the hallway, I need a pad. Can you give me something? And I think that it's amazing to see that change. And I'm so happy to see it. I think we just need to keep talking about it so that those different ages start breaking down the barriers as well. But I've seen our younger ones leading the change, and I'm there for it.
Yeah, that's great. Indeed, that's great. So how you are marketing? Like, what is your strategy? You're using social media, you're using some email campaign or influencers. Like, how do you market?
So we've done all of the above. We do have email campaigns. We are leveraging social media. We have a couple of influencers who have a wide reach, but also they have good conversion metrics because I think they're very personable, right? They're people that you relate to. You've probably purchased from them in the past, and you've learned to value their recommendations over time. So we've focused on working with influencers like that, and then a lot of sort of local outreach marketing. So through different dietitians, doctors, leveraging their email lists. If they have gatherings at their office, we will be there, and having them talk about our products. Because a lot of times, we all have so much information thrown at us. It's kind of one ear out the other. So they will repeat that messaging, whether it's through their own social media, their own email campaigns, carrying products in their clinics, things like that, to help reinforce that message.
Okay, so let us know a little bit more about your product. Like, I believe your product looked like more like some delicious piece of cake or sort of like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
So, like,
it
how
is. It is
people
a delicious
use it
piece of
and
cake. Yeah. So we have little mini cakes, or more like a brownie bite. We have the brownie bites, we have brownie batter, we have high protein, high fiber mix-in powders. We have a nut butter spread, which is more of like a less sweet version of a Nutella. And then we have a couple of different muffins. And I really wanted people to have options. So most of our products are gluten-free. Everything is vegan, refined sugar-free. And it gives you the option of whether you want an on-the-go snack, right? You want something simple. A lot of our high schoolers or women that go into the office, they'll take a mini cake out of the freezer, throw it in their lunchbox. It thaws by the time you get to where you're going, and it's like a really nice fudgy treat. But it's also a very well-balanced treat. My girls were eating these every day, or, a cup at minimum 3 to 4 times a week. So I needed to know that it was good for them. So everything has 5 to 15 grams of protein, under 150 calories, and the sweetness is coming from coconut sugar, which, if you're watching your blood sugar, is much better for you. So everything is very well balanced and created with those macro and micronutrients in mind as well.
I think that's one of the most delicious medicine, I believe.
And pop-up events are great for us for that reason, because people can taste it. And every single time I have that skeptical person, which it's understandable, most supplements taste bad, right? They'll try it and they're like, wow, this tastes fantastic, right? It tastes like a real brownie, or it tastes like Nutella or something like that. So definitely the trying is believing.
Yeah, that's a beautiful gift, by the way, for everybody. Makes sense. So let me know, what are your goals in, like, short-term goals in maybe next 3 to 6 months?
So for me, we are looking at some scaling practices. So we're working with the food scientist right now to eliminate or minimize our need to cold ship. So today, our mini cakes, our brownie batter, our muffins are all shipped on ice, which is really complicated and difficult to manage, and also difficult to scale. So we're looking at creating shelf-stable versions of those products. Today, when I ship to, say, Atlanta or Dallas or Miami, right, it's a lot of stress on my end to, make sure you get the package right away, make sure you put it in the freezer, make sure you don't let it sit in the hot sun. And so hopefully we can eliminate a lot of those so that the customer has the best unboxing experience as well.
Makes sense. So what is the shelf life?
So the products are, they're very shelf stable. They're today just need a little bit of more structural integrity because they're gluten-free. So they're naturally very fudgy, they're very soft. And so even though if they sit out at room temperature, the taste is still fantastic, they just don't hold that shape. And so what we're looking for out of this food scientist is to help retain that look and feel and the integrity of the product there, not so much the shelf life concern.
Okay, makes sense. And let us know, I believe every entrepreneur is facing many challenges. So what is the biggest challenge you are facing at this time?
I would say it's scaling, obviously, what we just talked about, but it's also that brand awareness, right? We're in a category where we don't have a lot of competition. Everybody in this space, whether it's a pill to support your PMS, it's some kind of bar or bite to help balance your blood sugar. Everyone is so open and receptive to working together, which is amazing because we don't see each other as competition. There is so much market share out there. And by helping each other grow, we're just giving women options because I think everybody knows one size doesn't fit all, right? Somebody who travels a lot, say they want a pill. Somebody might take a more natural approach. Somebody might have one ingredient that works better for them versus others. So a lot of it is just helping get the message out there that there are products that are all natural that can help your menstrual cycle or your perimenopausal cycle. And, you don't have to resort to a pill all the time or a prescription medicine all the time.
Makes sense. But just for curiosity, like I believe there is more awareness campaigns are involved in it. Like I believe like you need maybe more awareness campaigns to scale. I'm not sure, but maybe this is something that is related to this thing because before this call, I wasn't aware of this thing that a brownie can do a lot of these things.
Right.
So maybe
and a lot of women aren't aware either. So you're right. It is a lot of awareness campaigns. So we've been partnering with other groups that are focused on menstrual health, easing the burden of menstrual challenges, right? Mm-hmm. Other companies that are out there in a similar space. And so those campaigns where we're doing giveaways together, Instagram lives together, email campaigns that are joint, that's really helped spread the message. And I think we need to do a lot more of that this year.
Makes sense. So what are your long-term goals, like maybe after 1 year or 2 years?
So for me right now, I'm at capacity with the current kitchen we're using. And so once this food scientist is done, we will have all of our packaging, our scaling procedures, all of that in place for a larger kitchen to take over. I would love to look at retail. I just completed SKU's accelerator program in November, and I met a lot of buyers through that, as well as we won Startup CPG's Backpack Brand Award. And so through those two experiences, I've met a ton of buyers who changed my perspective a lot on this year. My thought was grow direct to consumer, build that awareness, and then look at retail a couple years down the road. And all of these buyers have said, we really think you should look at retail now. The stores are ready for you. We're excited for products like this, which to your point, right? If your loved one saw a brownie, would it register like, hey, this is going to help my menstrual cycle? So we've been looking at that approach a lot with our rebranding. So we're looking at our shelf stable products, which is our nut butter spread and our high protein mix and powders, which, we don't have to worry as much of getting it to a customer in a couple days or a week or things like that. Just because personally, if I was eating a brownie, I would want it to be fresh made, right? And I think the same goes with the way we approach our products as well. But having some of these other nut butters and the mix-ins, I think in retail stores, if they're in the right place, whether that's in a functional food area or if we can get it next to the menstrual products, I think that would be a great way to look at that for this year.
Great, that's good. So, Gita, what will be your biggest piece of advice to the ones who are watching this podcast?
One thing that took me a long time, and I honestly don't know why, was really getting comfortable telling my story. And I think owning your story and telling it with conviction just makes those around you latch on that much quicker. So I would say, get comfortable, tell your story as much as you can in those early days, so you can really fine tune it and you have those quick little pitches based on who you're meeting. You can easily tell them about your product. You can tell them about your backstory and really what you're bringing to the table.
That's a beautiful advice. So another question just popped in my mind. Is it safe for the men to eat this brownie? It looks delicious.
Absolutely. So for men, it's just a tasty snack. My husband eats them all the time. He loves our mini cakes. He loves our protein mix-ins. But lately, I've had, if I have a little bit of spread left over from the kitchen, I'll bring it home And I've been putting it into my protein shake. And he came over and tried it the other day. And now anytime I make a protein shake, he's like, is that a NEESHI protein shake? And he'll come and steal it. It makes the best tasting protein shake I have ever had. So you can definitely have them.
That's great. That's great. So it was nice talking to you, Geeta. It was a good session. And before we leave, would you please let people know how they can reach you?
Yes. So our website is neeshi.com, neeshi.com, or you can find us on social media at Shop NEESHI on Instagram, Facebook, pretty much anywhere. The handle is Shop NEESHI.
That's good. That's good. So, Geeta, it's so nice of you. Thanks for appearing today. It was really nice talking to you, and I believe this session will be very helpful for others as well. So,
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Geeta. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.